"17 years ago, my neighbor Marcia invited me to an unusual birthday party where 25 women pooled what we would have spent dining out, and instead we donated it to women and girls living in the most marginalized corners of the world. I was pulled in that night by 3 magnetic forces that started my addiction to dining for women. Finding a way to get money into the hands of the women I'd met on a trip to Tanzania, seeing how collective action and collective giving gives an individual the power to be able to change the world. And 3, learning how smart it is to invest in the futures of women and girls if we want to build a sustainable world of peace. Our idea spread like wildfire, and soon we were the largest giving circle in the world with 500 chapters spread throughout the United States. Together, we have amassed $8 million, changing the lives of almost 2 million women and girls, their families, and their communities. And for all of us, we should say, well done. In our early years, we were one of a handful of organizations working to open doors of equal opportunity. Back then, we focused on women and girls as the best way to end extreme poverty. While this is still true, our focus has evolved beyond economic empowerment to ending everything holding women back: nutrition and health, gender-based violence, human trafficking, access to technology, and climate-related challenges. Over the last decade, there has been explosive growth in the movement to advance global gender equality. We are now one of thousands of organizations making this happen. With all this change, the board realized that our early mission and vision statements needed to catch up to the sophisticated, powerful, high-impact organization that we've become. In the last year, we've been gathering your feedback, and I am super excited to be sharing what you all told us. First, I want to tell you what we heard loud and clear about what you love and things that will never ever change. Our chapter and collective giving model, our focus on women and girls globally, funding grassroots and women-led featured grants, and being a democratized community where our doors are open to everyone. We also heard what we needed to change, that our guiding star has evolved to achieving global gender equality, and that it's time to create statements that reflect our work as one collaborative community, learning and working together in true partnership. And now, with COVID hitting women harder and threatening to undo the years of progress we've made, Dining for Women can and must do more. And we begin with clarity of our mission and our vision. I want to thank you all for inviting Dining for Women into your homes, into your lives, and into your virtual spaces. I know it's personal. The cause is personal to all of us. Together, we are changing the world because we know that when one woman rises, we all rise. And as always, we do it one by one.
Gender equality is urgently needed to make any progress towards the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So getting women the right to equal education, to equal health care, to equal job opportunities, and control over their own bodies and reproductive rights is critical to any development in poverty alleviation, climate improvements, or any kind of progress we want to make. So I think it's so important that women's rights be understood as human rights. Thank you.
As Barb mentioned, it's time for the world to see Dining for Women as the effective, powerful community we are today. That's why I'm so excited to share with you our new strategic plan that focuses on achieving global gender equality, increasing our impact on women and girls around the world, and building a highly engaged and inclusive global community. Achieving global gender equality has been our guiding star all along. With this new strategic plan, we are stating boldly who we are and why we exist. Dining for Women champions global gender equality because women's rights are human rights. When women and girls are given the opportunity to reach their potential, they change their communities for the better, and the world is healthier, safer, more peaceful, inclusive, and economically just for everyone. While global gender equality has been our focus all along, we've often talked about what we do, but not why we do it. So we've updated our mission and vision statements to put our purpose front and center. Our new mission statement is, Dining for Women cultivates the collective power of community to achieve global gender equality. This mission statement focuses on the power and impact of our Dining for Women community when we all act together. It clearly communicates why we exist and that global gender equality is our guiding star. Our new vision statement is, Dining for Women envisions a world where every person has the same opportunities to thrive, regardless of their gender or where they live. So how do we get there? We will work through 3 core action areas: giving, learning, and community building. We will give together in our grant making. We will continue to fund projects that focus on women and girls. We will also be working with our grantees in new and innovative ways in which we truly partner with them on changing the way the world works for women and girls. Over the next 5 years, we aim to triple our dollars invested in grants. We will learn together and we will dig deeper into important issues. We want to learn about the innovative solutions that are happening around the world, and we have so much we can learn from each other across the miles. And we will build a diverse and inclusive culture and community together within DFW and with women and allies all around the world. Everything we're sharing reflects what we've heard from you, our members, in the past few years. You told us that you are motivated by our impact and you are eager to help even more with women and girls, and this strategic plan will do just that. I am so proud to be part of the Dining for Women family with each and every one of you, and I'm so excited for what we can achieve together as we fight for a future with global gender equality.
Para mí, la igualdad de género global implica que niñas, niños, hombres y mujeres deben recibir los mismos derechos, las mismas oportunidades y los mismos beneficios. Deben ser tratados con el mismo respeto en todos los aspectos de la vida, como la salud, educación, trabajo y salario. Y por qué no decir ejercer un cargo público. Desde allí se puede tomar en cuenta las necesidades y prioridades de las mujeres y hombres. De esta forma se logra una igualdad de género global.
A world with true gender equality will be different because women will have the freedom to move, to live, and to speak up without threats of violence and harassments. Practices like female genital cutting and child marriage will be a thing of the past. Women and girls will have equal access to education, economic opportunities, healthcare services, and basic human rights. Women will not have to prove or fight to show that they are worthy members of society.
Wanaume na wanawake wengi mu programu zilizopita walibadilisha hali yao ya maisha sawa vile ex-combatants na kugeuka walinzi.
Ndio.
Nilienda kazi ya kijeshi. Yaani ya chama ya Mungu abariki kikundi ya Resolve. Juli nisaidia sana. Nilikomala muhali ya uyatima, baba na mama wote walikufaka. Sawa walikufaka. Nikaishi maisha mbaya sana, nilibakiana tate. Nikaanzana na kuchuruza makalanga. Ile makalanga sikufaidika kitu. Nenda rangura kalanga kule chini. Ile kwenda rangura kalanga kule chini nikakutana huko chama. Nikasema na mimi acha nishibakilie hapa. Niko kunyumba ninateseka. Siaenda churuza, siapata lipapa. Siapata sabuni. Na niko mtoto wa kidogo wa 13. Nikakuwa kule, nikafaa kule Simwa muhali ya mateso. Kuteseka, babiana kukamata kwa msika kiovyo. Basi kutupiga fimbo, juu ni kazi ya kijeshi. Nikaona na kule mateso na kwa mingi. Wengine wa msika basiende mkisoda, juu mkisoda mko mateso sana tena sana. Babiana kukamata wa msika kiovyo. Hamuyaenda hivyo, hamuya kula, kubapiga fimbo, kubachanja, sema kwa bachanja madawa. Juu masasi sibabani, kanichanja na kukuise. Ewa ni kule ni hali ya mbaya sana, kazi ya mateso sana. Sasa niliona kule na nishinda. Ndio nikatoroka nikakuya upe. Hasta ile na mkisoda, juu kisoda ni hali ya mbaya sana. Mateso njoo inestuma mtu anaenda kule. Mimi hata wende kule na kule ni mateso. Hakuna raha kule. Hainge kwa mateso singeenda. Kufika kule nako mateso ikaendelea. Nikaamua kutoka.
Na ile inakuwa cercle vicieux ya watu.
Kufika kunyumba, watu wanakuwa wananishangala. Safi huyu, ase msikuwa nazoeana na Safi. Ndio, wananikatala. Safi ni bandi. Msikuwa zoeana na Safi, ule yako mtoto wa kujizoelea.
Na watu kwa vile hawapati kazi na hawashirikishwe katika uongozi wa jamii. Na hiyo inaleta hali ya maisha yao kuwa mabaya zaidi mbele waende mgroup army. Namna peke yake ya kuvunja hii cercle vicieux ni kupatia watu namna ya kujibu mahitaji yao kiuchumi na kuunda mazingira bora ya reinsertion sociale. Na hii ndiyo approach ganya kwa watu wote wenye kuhusika. Kwani upande mmoja jamii inapata usalama na upande mwingine ex-combatant naye anaishi maisha bora na jamii inafaidika na mchango yao.
Programu ya Resolve tulijifunza juu ya kuresolve conflict. Kupitia ile nilishajua jinsi ya kutatua mizozo. Nilikuwa na probleme za mingi, nisijue jinsi ya kuishi na watu. Kupitia ile formation yetu nilishajua jinsi ya kuishi na watu. Na ilinisaidia sana. Na ingine yenye ilinisalia ni juu ya kuweka akili. Nilikuwa sijui weka akili. Kufuatana na ile kidogo yenye Resolve ilitupatia, niko naitumikisha na inaniletea faida. Hapa nilishajua jinsi ya kukula nusu, kuweka nusu na ingine inanisaidia. Credit haiwezi kosa juu sasa wananipatia project command. Kama waliniomba vya mingi kufuatana na pato yangu, mimi nilipata credit ya 10,000.
Njoo leo matunda ya shamba nusu kidogo walisaidiana nayo, njoo hii. Nasikia raha sana tena sana. Mungu awabariki. Kwa mafunzo nilijifunza kwa project pamoja tunaweza. Yenyewe ilinifalia kwa leo hii na mimi natatua mizozo ya wengine.
Naitwa Bahati Baeni Magi. Hapa tuko mkadre ya encadrement ya prevention ya recruitment ya bajene ya groupe ya arme. Na ile inatuletea tukiwakubali, inatuletea kuwakubali, kuwasikiliza na kuwapokea. Wakati ya zamani ama mbele tulikuwa na waona sawa vile ni waadui wala washetani. Lakini kupitia mradi yetu ya pamoja tunaweza ya Resolve inaacha tunawapokea na tunawasikiliza kama vile wandugu. Ile esprit ya kuwabagua inaisha sababu ya ile formation yetu ya pamoja tunaweza. Ile inatuonesha kama tukawakubali mzuri ama tunawankadre mzuri wale wazene arme, kesho yake watatufalia mu maisha ya mbele, nao watakuwa nguvu mu community hapa Masisi, na ndio vile tunawashukuru.
Afghan women have made great progress since the days of Taliban rule, when women had no rights or freedom. Yet today, Afghan women still suffer severe social inequalities, which are especially pronounced in the Afghan judicial system. From the minute they're born, girls are raised to serve others. This is life for little girls, washing clothes, collecting fuel, tending sheep. Early marriage keeps girls from completing an education, leaving them with few opportunities. The life of a young woman is determined by others. The girls of Afghanistan have such potential. All girls have dreams. Rukia wants to be a pilot. Gulnaz, a women's rights lawyer. But the Afghan judicial system is also weighted against women and girls. Nearly 90% of all cases are tried in informal tribal courts, where women's rights are ignored. A woman may be imprisoned solely on the unproven testimony of a man. A woman's voice is counted only as half of her husband's. Most women here have been imprisoned for moral crimes, fleeing domestic violence or a forced marriage. Thanks to the members of Dining for Women, we were able to provide incarcerated women and their children creative, healing, motivational support. In 2010, we trained 4 all-women's theater troupes, a first in Afghanistan. They created shows about women's rights and performed in women's prisons across the country. Now they train other women and their children. Our methods of theater training give women a chance to regain self-esteem, tell their stories, heal old wounds, and take control over their own lives. Next, we continued this work with women and girls in Afghanistan, preparing them to fulfill their dreams. Our work has also taken us to Myanmar, where we've been working since 2009. Here we use theater as a tool to educate and inform. We traveled with a local theater troupe to Kumakaite, to jungle areas along the Thai border, with a show about the importance of hand washing for children in monastery schools and orphanages. For kids brought up in the jungle, this is an important lesson. Over the last decade, the country has been transitioning from strict military censorship towards freedom of speech. However, the new freedoms have unbottled old hatreds, and conflicts have erupted across the country. In addition to the well-documented violence against the Rohingya by the Burmese military, the Kachin State and Shan State see bands of insurgents fighting for independence from the military government. In warfare, women always suffer. Rape is a central strategy of war, as a means to demoralize, punish. Both the military and the insurgents are guilty. In 2014, we created educational performances that demonstrate the tragic costs of discrimination and the value of peaceful coexistence between ethnicities. For safety from censors, the characters in our play were frogs and lizards, but the analogy to actual factions was clear to the audience. After each show, the audience has a chance to role-play their solutions to the issues and discuss their ideas. This gives people a platform to visualize peace and cooperation, and women lead the way in this field. Our next project focuses on empowering girls, letting them know their rights and their power. Our theater training is a great tool for spreading information and also for training girls for leadership, practicing powerful body language, poise, vocal dynamics, and giving them the courage to speak out. As the Myanmar conflict continues to expand, Malaysia is becoming a migration destination. Not just refugees from Myanmar, but from 21 countries around the world. Thousands of refugees from Syria, Somalia, Yemen, Iraq, Sri Lanka, and elsewhere. However, Malaysia has not signed the UN Convention on Refugees, leaving the country's refugee population vulnerable to exploitation of all kinds, especially for women and their children. In 2017, we began working with Rohingya women refugees in Malaysia, partnering with the Rohingya Women's Development Network. We use theater as an engaging way to bring information on refugee rights and resources. Which schools accept refugee children? Where can refugees get health care? What can you do if you're detained? Our performances used no language, just physical enactment, so any language group could understand this valuable information. These shows reached thousands of refugees. Most important, we taught the Rohingya women and the Somali women how to turn their true life stories into plays. Now we have 2 new women-led theater groups who are spokespeople for refugee rights in their communities. Our next project in Malaysia tackles the effect of child marriage, a harmful custom that persists globally. Traffickers have become more and more bold as the number of refugees rises, and child brides have become a lucrative new business for traffickers. Information to protect girls and families is crucial, as well as empowering girls to make their own choices and speak out for justice and equality. We thank every member of Dining for Women for their dedication to women's rights and freedoms everywhere.